All right, guys, check it out. Subaru Forester EJ 2.5 back in the garage. We're gonna do a full video on this concern. We got a small fuel smell leak somewhere here. Thinking on this side of here because I could see a puddle of liquid right there. So history on this Forester. I've been working on this since 4 or 5 years ago. We did the timing belt replacement on this. Changed that turbo twice already because the first one was shot, the second one was used. It lasted about 3 years, and then this is the third one. So back in the garage here again, we're gonna diagnose the smell of this fuel. So let's get started. Let's go. So hopefully you can see this here. Yeah, it's tough to see, but down there's a puddle of liquid. I'm guessing it's fuel because I can smell fuel. Every time when you guys drive this on the street, you can see the fuel going into the vent of the vehicle. So told them to close the air inlet actuator so that there's no air going in from the outside. So it will be closed, and then the air inside of the vehicle will circulate, nothing coming in, nothing going out. So now back in the garage, we'll take pretty much the intercooler here because we'll be working on this side down underneath the throttle body. We'll see where's the leak coming from. We're not gonna disturb the fuel line first. We'll take everything out so we could see the bottom. We'll turn on the key, pressurize, don't start the engine, and then we'll see if there's any leaks down there, and that's how we're gonna diagnose so far. If I can't find that leak, we're gonna have to flip this intake manifold, and we'll see underneath where the leak's coming from. So that's been said, we're gonna start taking this apart. Let's go. All right, so you can see I take out the negative battery. It's gone. I'm gonna be slowly taking out this intercooler. So I'm just gonna quickly fast forward all those boring parts. Alright guys, so next we'll take out this throttle body, but first we'll take out the connector all in here that attach to the throttle body. Just gonna quickly pry it off. Alright, so there's nothing attached to the intake manifold and throttle body that will leak coolant. 4 bolts here, 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom, 10 mil. All right, so get all these 4 bolts out, put it on the side, and then this throttle body will come out, put it on the side, just like that. All right, so slowly we expose this area here. All right, so hopefully you guys can see some liquid, some little bit of a liquid right there. So the way how this fuel system route is coming from here, going to the fuel rail on this side, and then there's a 2 or 3 steel pipe underneath going to the intake manifold, going to this fuel rail down here. I'm guessing there's a leak right down here. So we'll go down deep here, and then we'll find out more. We'll take some out on this area so that we could see what's going on down there. This tube right here will come out. Put that on the side. All right, guys, let's find this out, see where it's leaking coming from. So you see a turbo right there. PCV valve is right here. This is where the throttle body was. So let's see if there's anything hissing on this side. I'm gonna put the key on the on position, but do not start the engine. So make sure to put the negative battery back on. So I prime it twice. I don't know if you can see it. I can't smell nothing yet. So I'm gonna decide to take out this intake manifold because it's hard for me to look down here. I can't see any leaks at all when I'm trying to prime it. When it's running, you can smell the thing leaking. So maybe I'm gonna put the throttle body back in, and I'm gonna start the engine and see if I can see that leak. Because starting the engine is easy to find that leak, but if I prime it, it's pretty tough. So I'm gonna put the throttle back in here, and it will start her up. It's tough to keep it idle when I'm trying to start it. Trying to press the gas pedal down, but it won't keep the engine running. We need to have pressure air going into the throttle body here. It should idle, but I don't have the intercooler. It's not gonna keep on idle. I'm gonna jam a screwdriver in here to keep that throttle plate open. It's not gonna get sucked back in there. Don't worry. Okay, plate's a little bit open in there. Let's keep her idle. All right, so it just won't let me start, won't let me idle. But I can see right here. Oh my God, it's hard to see. I can see a puddle of fresh fuel. I can smell fuel already. All right, we're gonna have to move things around here so we can see what's going on. Basically, it's underneath this hose right here. That's where the fuel leak coming from. All right, we're gonna take out the intake manifold. Let's go. All right, guys, check this out. This is a big mess here. Oh my God. So I end up getting the airbox out, the battery out, and the tank for the windshield washer is out right there on the side. So I could work on the harness and connectors. Same thing on this side. So it looks like this is ready to go. This aftermarket intake hose right here, I had to detach it from the turbo so it goes together with the manifold. So it's super loose now. This is gonna go together with pretty much everything. The harness and the fuel rail is gonna go together with the intake manifold. Move things around here, make sure nothing to get caught. So almost forgot, you had to take out the alternator so we could connect 3 of this connector off from the sensors here, the crank, coolant sensor, and something else. All right, let's start wiggling this thing out, see if it's loose now. The fuel line is still connected. I'm not gonna disturb that. I was gonna tip this thing over. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not totally taking it out. So we're just gonna tip it over and see where we at here. Alright, tipping it over. Just like that. What a mess. Wow. It's like a web of harness and vacuum lines in there. So the leak was coming from here somewhere. Yeah, from here. You know, no idea where it's coming from, but we can pressurize this thing again and then it will start leaking. But if it's something like a hose is leaking, yeah, we could change the hose. But if it's a line, steel line, we could JB weld it. There's a kit that you could get to change all this mess down here, the steel line. There's a kit, but that's probably like $200. Okay, so doing a visualize check on this here, you can see it's a little wet right here, and if you smell it, there's a fuel smell. So this might be the one that's leaking here. So probably we should just get a brand new hose, replace this, and then clamp it down with the same clamp, and then we'll pressurize this thing again and check, make sure that that's the only spot that's leaking before we put everything back together. So we'll do that then. We'll pressurize this whole system. I got a hand pump. We're gonna figure out how I'm gonna do that. In the next video, I'm gonna diagnose where it's leaking from. I'm guessing right here because it will show a little bit of a moisture right there, and it shows that you can see by smelling it, you can see that it's a fuel right there, and it's always on this area right here on the bottom. So we're gonna clean this up, cover the hole with a rag so there's nothing that goes in there. In next video, we'll diagnose the leaks. That's it. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe, like the video, and continue working.